Truth would be the trail in your eyes. Is that a sideways glass?
C'est okay.
Okay, the people.
Alors, Yann, when and where did you born?
I was born in 1976 in Birmingham.
Birmingham. Alors, how did you grow up and why did you choose a guitar like instrument?
Well, when I was about 8 years old, I got interested in music because I heard the Beatles, and this got me really excited about music. So I wanted to be like John Lennon, and I wanted to play piano and guitar. So at the same time, I had piano lessons, and also my parents bought me a guitar. But the piano, for me, was boring. It felt like homework. But the guitar, I immediately fell in love with the guitar.
Alors, what are your musical influences?
Well, because I started out with the Beatles, I've always been really interested in songwriters and interested in melody and harmony. But later on, I got into the blues. So then I got really into blues guitar players. So my influences really are a mixture of all of the blues guitar giants that you would think of. B.B. King, of course, Freddie King, Otis Rush, Buddy Guy, people like that. And then the 60s blues boom period, players like Peter Green, Eric Clapton, Hendrix. But then also I'm interested in songwriters, you know. Like I say, the Beatles were the first songwriters that I fell in love with, but then later Dylan, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Neil Young.
Okay. Christian, parle doucement, s'il te plaît. Alors, how did you begin your career? In the bar?
Yeah, when I was 16 years old, I had a band called Strange Brew, and we played Cream songs and Hendrix songs. And that was my first band that went out into bars and pubs really just in Birmingham. Playing around just pubs in Birmingham, playing Hendrix and Cream songs, and that's how I started.
Okay. Alors, do you remember the first show in Chesterfield? When I saw you the first time?
I do, man. I was talking about the Chesterfield today. It's a shame that this venue is no longer existing for music, because I was very excited when I had the opportunity to play at the Chesterfield Cafe for 1 week residency. You know, it was one of the first times that I'd been out of England to play. So to play in Paris in Chesterfield, just off the Champs-Élysées, it was
it's a good memory.
Fantastic. Yeah, it was.
What do you think the French audience?
Actually, I think French audiences are. I think actually French audiences are fantastic. I think if I'm really honest, I think in France it's more difficult. In my experience, it seems to be more difficult to get the people to come to shows.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe it's something to do with language. Maybe. I'm not sure. But it seems to be the promoters, I think, in France have a harder job to make people come. But when the people do come to the shows, they're fantastic. They're like same as everywhere else, you know. They're very, very cool.
Very cool. Alors, now, how many recordings did you
make?
Yeah, did you? Because I know the first.
Yeah, well, the first one you heard was probably the live album from Parker's Alibi.
Yeah.
Then after that, when I started my own solo project or career, Ian Parker Band, I made a live album first of all, another live album. But then I made a studio album called Inside in 2003, which was my debut for Roof Records. And after that, there was another live CD and a live DVD. I have a lot of live things of products because people always say that they think my music is it's designed for the stage.
Yeah.
So therefore we do a lot of live recordings, and and then this year, in January, my new studio album, Where I Belong, came out.
Alors, last year, no, last year is about 2 years ago, in Beauvais Festival, you do the great tour in Caravan Blues.
Yes.
How did you been the European tour with Leicester?
Yeah,
because he's very special, like guitar player.
Yeah.
In the character.
Yeah. The record company put us together because Ainsley and also Area from Finland, Area Luutinen, the three of us are all signed to Roof Records.
Yeah.
And so the record company decided that me and Ainsley should tour together because we're both British blues guitar players, the young British blues guitar players. So we thought it would be a good package tour. But then Area from Finland, who's completely different, but she just signed to the label and they wanted a way of starting her career, promoting her, so they included her. So that gave it a different, unusual dynamic to have the two British blues rock guitar players and then Area from Finland. But it was fun.
It's very fun. But is there also the records together?
Yeah, I mean that idea came after the initial plan to tour together. Three of us tour.
Yeah.
And then how about if we make a record, the three of us? Okay. And then how about we go to America and make the record? So that's what happened, and we went to Mississippi and Memphis. We were supposed to go to New Orleans, but it was 1 week after the hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans. So we couldn't go to New Orleans, so we just went to Memphis and to Mississippi. But it was a great experience to go and record and experience the musical culture in those places. It was really a great experience.
Because I doing the tributes, they are 2 years ago for the musician for the New Orleans, to help them in the wars, in Lucky Peterson, Mike Timo Rogers, Summer Sandy, a lot of musicians, Rhoda Scott.
Yeah.
And when I speaking, every musician say no answer for the American government for to change the New Orleans. During 2 years is incredible.
Yeah.
This is a big America, rich man.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that as well. Yes.
In the Eric is incredible. Alors, the new record, just so. Where I Belong. Why the title?
Okay. Well, one of the songs is also called Where I Belong. So, and the song is it's really about my ongoing search for an emotional sense of belonging.
Okay.
But also I thought I would use it for the album title because I think this album to me feels like the first time in my career where I pull all of my influences together, the songwriting, pop songwriting influences, but also after I went to Mississippi and Memphis, I thought, I'm a blues artist. That's what I've always been, and that's what I still am. So I pulled everything together, and I think this is the first time that I found my true musical identity. So I thought the title "Where I Belong" made sense for the album.
In the recording, where did you record it?
This was recorded in Cheltenham, in England.
In England. Alors, so the last question, you projects before Happy Christmas in 3 months, in September, October, November. Is there the show on European tour?
Yeah,
you do
really the rest of this year now is just very hard work with touring. I'm not going to be at home a lot for the next 3 months because after France we go to Spain. And then after Spain we have 3 weeks in the UK, lots of shows there. Then we go straight to Germany, Austria, Switzerland. Then we have about a week off in the middle of November, and then we do some more UK shows. Takes us through to Christmas, really.
You work with the manager in England for the dates?
Yeah, actually, I do now. But all of these years up until now, for England, I just book myself.
Okay.
But I have a booking agent now that started to do that. But in Europe, all of the European countries, I have agents to
Oh,
book the
okay.
gigs.
Alors, personality question, c'est I do the great report on Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
For the new guitar player, what do you think, Jimmy? Because I have many interviews for to talk on
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Oh,
For you.
well,
the-
he's the greatest, you know. I mean, I don't think I play much like Jimmy anymore. When I was a teenager, I tried to copy him, and I don't do that anymore. But I still think that, and I don't listen to him as much anymore. But if you're a guitar player, it's impossible to hear Hendrix and not just acknowledge him as
Genius.
being the greatest, really, because he was it really invented everything. He started off, I think he really opened the door to all of these different areas of what can be done with the electric guitar. And since he died, different people have taken his initial ideas, his initial plan, and followed it through and taken it further in different areas. But he had it all going on, really. It's one of those questions when you think, what would it be like if Jimmy was alive? I have no idea, but I mean, he was just mind-blowing.
Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.